Good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 5. Golly, it's just hard to believe. Um, just as a quick update for those of you who extended your concerns, my dad came out of the surgery fine. I'm actually still in LA, but he is on the mend. So thanks for everyone who asked about that and for your good thoughts and wishes. But for week 5, here we are, right? We're into our next unit of study, which is I think it's one of more fun units that we do. Um, it's a little silly, but it doesn't have to be. Some people take it very seriously, and so really it's going to be up to you how you approach the topic that we're going to be kind of talking about the next 2 weeks. Before I jump into where we're headed with argument and kind of what the topic is, um, this week and next week I will be reading through your Unit 1 writings and giving you feedback there. So as soon as you see that I have given you feedback on your Google Doc and you'll see that you've received a check mark in the Canvas gradebook, it means that I've given you feedback. And so you'll be able to check it at that point. The other thing I just wanted to kind of remind you of this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, I want you to make sure that you go back into the discussion board from last week and give feedback to somebody, 2 people actually. The goal is for everyone to have at least 2 classmates provide positive feedback to what they submitted. Again, and I've mentioned this in the last week's video, it's all kind of goes back to that charter for compassion, right? That idea that writing is sometimes really hard, and we sometimes just need to hear some validation that what we've put out into the world has been read by somebody, right? And maybe even connects with somebody else's experience, and we don't get an opportunity to get that kind of feedback. And so that's the whole goal behind this discussion board. So if you haven't already, please make sure you complete the assignment. It actually is an assignment that crops up in this week's module, and you need to make sure that you kind of remember who you responded to in the discussion board. Okay, week 5. This unit is more like a mini unit. It's 2 weeks long. And drum roll, please. There is no major piece of writing that comes out of it. There's no essay. I know. Hooray! But as we did last week, there's lots of work on little skills, right? Again, go back to my very first video where I talked about kind of like when you're working out, don't just do the curl and the squat, right? So you're kind of using all of your or more muscle groups than just the one. We're doing that this week too. The goal here is to learn about argument, to learn about claims, and to learn about how we can join arguments in a way that is not just a counter argument. It's not just oh, I'm going to say the opposite of what you think. It's not that. It's more of how can we actually join an argument and have it be a productive type of dialogue, right? And I mean that in terms of writing, but I think it also extends to our thinking beyond the class. Okay, so let's take a look at the screen. So you've got your week 5, what your plan is, the Unit 2 overview. This is, there's a video here that basically walks you through what we're going to be doing the next couple of weeks, and then your learning objectives, like what are our goals coming out of this week, this weekend, next week. Again, you've got your discussion replies for the Unit 1 writing, and then you have some, excuse me, you have some readings here about argument. Like, what is argument? We're not talking about the Monty Python skit where they literally are 2 characters like arguing with each other. That's not argument, right? Argument is, in terms of rhetoric, is something that's very specific. And so these pages kind of speak to that. And then you have what is kind of at the center of this weekend, next week, which is your discussion to what I'm calling the impossible argument. I'm not even going to tell you what the topic is because I want you to read it, and you're going to read it and you're going to say, what kind of class am I in right now? But again, You can make it silly, you can be funny, you can be serious. I've had students do both. Um, so you can answer it however you choose, and you can make it however long you want to make it. But what gets written in this discussion board is something that we are going to revisit this week and next week. Um, so it's going to have some longevity. You have a mentor text this week, and then that's it. Like it's actually kind of not a difficult work week. You'll also see that the week 6 module is open. And so if you want to kind of look ahead at where we're going in week 6, you can. But I really don't want you to do any of the discussion board elements from week 6 yet. I want you to wait until the majority of the class has participated in this week's discussion. And then you can start the week 6 discussion elements because they are going to ask you to go back into the week 5 discussion board. It'll make sense once you kind of look it over, but in talking about it, it sounds really confusing. It's not. Um, but again, this week and next week, really focusing on argument and and yeah, and how to recognize an argument, how to partake and participate in an argument, um, and yeah, the various kind of basics of argumentation that you may have learned in English 100, but we're just going to be building on those now. I do have my office hours this week, same as kind of we're going back to normal, hopefully. I'm ready for normal. So again, Tuesday 10 to noon, Wednesday night 7 to 8, and then Thursday 11 to 1. If you have any questions and if you would like to meet, then please don't hesitate to do that. Otherwise, I will see you on the discussion boards. Have a good week.